Hello and welcome back to my road to completion guide for Dark Souls Remastered. We're now in episode number 8. The first thing that we want to do is head down to Darkroot Garden. You guys remember we took this path earlier in the game, but we were coming from the opposite direction. Remember we killed the Titanite demon in here. Now it's permanently dead, so you can just kind of sprint through here with ease. And when you get to the bottom of these stairs and you hit the archway, pop a soul mass and then sprint toward the left. And you'll notice that we don't even have to lock on here. There's going to be an enemy that's going to push at you right about now. See him? Boom. It just connects with him automatically. Remember, you don't have to lock on with the soul mass. As long as your camera is pointing in the direction of the enemy and you're close enough, the soul mass will hit them every time. It's a really strong magic for getting through not only the game, but for these areas where you're having to run from point A to point B. You can take out all the enemies super quick. And it's usually a one-hit kill because you guys are so strong at this point in the game. Kill these two guys. And then we're just going to do a 180. We're going to head toward, you guys remember this, earlier in the run we opened up this door ahead of us. See, we've already got it open. To the left of that is a secret wall. You can roll through it or you can hit R2 and that will allow the wall to open up for you guys and you'll get the secret bonfire. Now go ahead and set up a safety save right here. I would strongly urge you guys to do that. Set up a safety save and also look into reversing your hollow, okay? If you're not human, you should be if you've been following this guide. Make sure that you also reverse your hollow. You notice here too that I'm pulling off my ring and I'm putting back on the covetous gold serpent ring right there because we're going to be farming for 2 items here in a few. Okay, so you just want to make sure you have that ring on. Make sure that you're human. Like I said, if you're not human, just reverse hollow by sitting at the bonfire. And you also want to make sure that you pop enough humanity. Right there, my item discovery is 404. Remember, we want to get that all the way up to 410. So just make sure that you pop enough humanity. It should be exactly 10 humanity if you have the ring on, based on your stats. You can see right here that I'm only going to be popping 1. And then in the top left, you'll see it go from 9 to 10, right? So if you have 10 up there, you're human, and you have the covetous gold serpent ring on, you're good to go. Remember, go ahead and set up a safety save here, just to lock in that run and everything, and you'll be set up for the farming route. Okay, we're gonna head this way. I'll show you guys the farming route. I think I show you 2 times in this clip, and then I think the first time I actually pick up one of the items, and I think the third time I pick up the second item. It took me about, I don't know, it took me about 15 minutes or so to pick up these 2 items, so it shouldn't take you longer than a half an hour, guys, to pick up these 2 items. And I do have you guys set up with some Homeward bones if you've been following the run. I don't use them per this farming route because there is a big farming route coming up later on that requires a bunch of Homeward bones, or I guess could potentially require a bunch of Homeward bones. It depends on how lucky you guys are with the drop. And if I were you, I would just keep saving up my Homeward bones for that. So when you kill that first enemy back there, come and take out this enemy that I'm standing in front of now. And there's one more behind him. And then just run back to the bonfire. I think that's where I got the Greatsword. Yeah, so that's the first item you're looking for, the Stone Greatsword. You're also looking for the Stone Greatshield, okay? So take out those 2 enemies and take this enemy out right here. And like I said, you can use your Homeward bones if you want to. But I would just strongly urge you guys to just run back to the bonfire. But I have it set up either way. It's player choice at this point. If you do decide to use Homeward bones here to go back to the bonfire, make sure that you at least keep 1. Okay, make sure that you at least have 1 left in your inventory for later on in the run. You do need 1. Okay, but if you want to use the other ones to get back to the bonfire quickly, that's fine. There, I just took off my armor because you just saw that this is a fairly safe route to be farming on, so there's really no need to have a lot of armor on, and you just want to be running as fast as possible. Remember, the Havel's ring, which we just obviously took off to put on the covetous gold serpent ring, the Havel's ring is what allows us to run pretty fast with all our gear on. But since we don't have that ring on now, I took the liberty to pull the armor off and just run around as fast as possible, like I said, to make this farming route as fast as possible. You do want to take out these 3 enemies each time you come through here, because if not, they're going to follow you, and while you're trying to attack this first enemy here, they're going to be sneaking up behind you and kind of pincer you in. So just be careful about that. Again, your soul mass is going to do all the work for you. Not a problem at all. This is me just showing you the route one more time. I don't get any drops on this one. Now there is there's actually 2 or 3 more of these giants right here to your right. You can actually put them into your farming route if you want to. It'll kind of up the chances of when you get your drops. It may save you some time on the run backs to get back to the bonfire and reset the enemies. Only problem is that there's a ton of those tree enemies as well. Those bushes that are walking around that we just had encounters with up here that's on the left. There's a bunch of those that'll also come out, and there's a bunch of trees in that area, and I don't know, I find it to be a little bit, it's not hard to farm it, but it's definitely not as easy as what I'm showing you now. You are going to have some souls, and we are going to be leveling up here in a bit. So, you know, if you don't want to go through all the risk of losing your souls and just having a what I feel like is going to be kind of a bogged down farming route, then I would just stick with the 3 enemies that I'm showing you in order to get your Greatsword and your Stone Greatshield. So these guys, this is actually the one where I get it. So again, it's been about 15 minutes in this farming attempt for me to get both of these items to drop. And I want to say that I get it on the last one. Yeah, I think I get it on the last giant, I think. Yeah, so this is giant number 2. Yeah, I get it on the 3rd giant. I can tell based on the audio in my timeline that I get it on the 3rd giant. A lot of times when I'm doing these post-commentary videos or whatever, I can look at the audio in my timeline and I can tell when I get certain things based on when the audio jumps. And that typically is what controls my... Yeah, there it is right there, the Stone Greatshield. And I think I go into my inventory here just to show you that they're both in there. You want to make sure you have those guys before you move on. We need those for a trophy for later on in the run. So right there, I got two Stone Greatswords to drop, and I think I've only got 1 Greatshield, and that's the one I just picked up. It's at the bottom of your list. All the shields are at the bottom of your inventory list. Boom, right there, the Stone Greatshield. That's perfect. Now you want to run back to the bonfire, or like I said, if you're using Homeward bones, that's fine. You should have roughly 10 at this stage in the game, and like I said, you can use all of them but 1. Just make sure that you save 1. And we're going to come back to the bonfire again. Make sure that you're human. You should be if you're following the guy, but I don't know, some of you may have had issues with dying, and maybe you didn't load up a safety save or something like that, and you're not human. Just make sure you're human before this next part as well, because we're going to be summoning a phantom. Okay, so right there I just put in another safety save. Okay, just make sure you set up another safety save there, lock in those 2 items that we just farmed. Again, I'm just showing you here that if you're not already in human form, make sure that you are. Okay, and there's no need to kindle the bonfire though, just make sure that you're in human form. We're gonna put back on all of our gear, the stone armor. We're gonna put back on the gold hem black gloves, and then the leggings, the stone leggings. And then again, we gotta pull the covetous gold serpent ring off and put back on the Havel's ring so we can get our movement back, and get our mobility back. And now we're gonna go and head down to fight another boss, the Moonlight Butterfly. Very, very simple boss. All you need is the homing soul mass and the soul spear, which you guys have currently on your top D-pad slot. We're gonna go and take them out. I'm just killing these guys so they don't follow me in. Okay, and now we don't have to fight the 3 enemies that we were killing for the Greatshield and the Greatsword. Just run past them, just hug the left-hand wall here. And you'll notice, and I'm pretty sure that I show you this in this clip, you'll notice that when we run past the 3rd enemy, again, we're not going to kill anything in here, just keep running. Run all the way past, all the way to this back wall. You'll see the summon sign behind those bushes. And then once you touch the summon sign like I have, if you rotate your camera, you'll see that that enemy is not moving. You can freeze that enemy in place right there if you run back here quick enough, and that enemy won't bother you while you're trying to summon this phantom. Now, summoning this phantom is not required, okay? There's no special perks for doing this. I'm only showing you that this is possible in case you miss with your soul mass shot when you come to the top and you have to fight the Moonlight Butterfly. If you miss with your soul mass shot and the soul spear combo that I'm about to show you, then the butterfly can start flying around and stuff like that. And what'll happen is the phantom, of course, if you wait long enough, you're not going to want to enter the fog gate as quick as I did. You wait for the phantom to come up the steps with you. You come into this fight with the phantom alongside of you, and then you would try to get that to work for you. See how I fired the soul mass and the soul spear at the same time and it killed it in one hit? Let's say that doesn't happen, right? Then the butterfly is going to start going from left to right on this bridge, and you're going to have to kind of strafe and dodge some attacks and stuff like that. But if you can bring the phantom up here with you, right, let it enter the fog gate with you, then the phantom's also going to be shooting spells at the Moonlight butterfly too, and it'll help you kill it, which is great. I just wanted to kind of showcase that there's two paths you can take there in terms of that fight. But if you can get that first soul mass to hit and that soul spear, you'll kill it in one hit. And the trick to that, by the way, is to make sure that you're patient. When it comes down and it flies down from that big tower, it's going to land in front of you and you're going to swear that it's time for you to hit it, but you can't. It doesn't have a hitbox yet. You have to wait until it kind of, you know, gets down to where it's eye level with you, and then it waits a few seconds, and that's when you want to start your attacks. And if you watch that video back, you'll get the timing, right? If you watch that clip back, you'll get the timing of what I'm talking about. You can kill that thing in one hit. If you don't kill it in one hit like I did there, just continue to pop soul spears at it. Just spam them, okay? And that way you'll kill it before it kills you, because its damage, the damage it can put on you is pretty lethal at this stage in the game. But if you spam that soul spear, you should be able to kill it before it kills you. Like I said, you've got your phantom there for backup just in case. And now we're going to take out another boss in the game called Sif. Let me also mention this. At the previous bonfire, we used the Homeward bone after we beat the Moonlight butterfly. When you got back to the bonfire, go ahead and set up another safety save before you come and fight this boss, because you do have 31,000 souls. Just make sure you have a safety save set up back there before you make this run. That way, if you die, you know, you can just go back and you'll have your 31k, because we need those souls to level up here in a bit. What you can do is you can pop a soul mass. Notice that before you get into the cutscene. When you come out of the cutscene, you'll have the soul mass ready. Notice that I switched to soul spear. See how much damage I did? Pretty much the same thing that we did for the Moonlight butterfly. You got the soul mass over your head. It's going to do all the work for you. And then you're hitting R1 for your soul spear. And what'll happen is the soul mass goes out automatically. You're hitting R1 for the soul spear. It hits them all. It hits the enemy at the same time. Does a lot of damage. Now what I'm showing you right here is kind of a way to avoid Sif's attack, and you can use this monument right here, this grave, to kind of put yourself, or put it in between you and Sif. And you can do that for as long as you want. Now don't get too close to the grave, because if you do, the sword that Sif has in its mouth can still hurt you, but you can kind of run around that area. Just keep using your soul mass and your soul spear and you'll be good to go there. Notice that we just got the Art of Abysswalking trophy, okay, which is really good. And we also got an item called the Covenant of Artorias, which is something we're going to need for here in a bit. Go ahead and level up to 50 with your intelligence. Again, that's why we needed all those souls. Go ahead and level up, and then we're going to warp over to Firelink Shrine. Okay. Now, you guys remember Siegmeyer? We freed Siegmeyer earlier, then we got Emit Force from him. I think that was in the previous episode. Now we're going to kill him, because he's no more use to us. If we kill him, we can pick up 3 more humanity and 1,000 souls. We don't really care too much about the souls, but we do want the humanity. Okay, so again, I just popped a soul mass, hit him with a soul spear, deadly combination, pick up the gold shiny that drops, boom, there's your 3 humanity. And you're also going to ring in at the bottom right, you'll see 1,000 souls pop in there as well. Okay, let's head up here. You guys remember there's the 6 enemies to the right up the stairs. We're going to kill them just so they don't follow us. Not really too worried about killing them for the souls necessarily, just don't want them to be bothering us when we hit up the sewer up there. What we're going to do is pay a visit to the sorry, not the undead merchant, but the sewer merchant. You guys remember we unlocked her previously in the run. We want to talk to her and pick up some Homeward bones. and some Transient Curse, 2 of those, and I'll explain the Transient Curse system here in a second. Okay, so we're just gonna run down the sewer. She's gonna be at the end. Now the Homeward Bones is gonna be different for everybody. For some of you, you use when you were farming for the Greatshield and the Stone Greatsword, you decided to use your Homeward Bones. That's fine. For those of us who didn't, we're not gonna have to buy as many Homeward Bones from the merchant as you might. But the main thing is that you just want to max out your Homeward Bones at 50. So just do the calculation, right? If you have 10 in your inventory, you're going to be buying 40, okay? And you just want to take it from there. Make sure that you max out at 50. I'll show you. See that? So I have 9, okay? So just press X and just go in here and buy as many as you need. I think mine cost 20,500 if I remember correctly. I think. Yeah, 20,500. Yeah, 41 plus 9 is 50. Boom. Gonna pick those up. Again, just max out at 50. And then if you scroll up a couple of items there, you'll see that the Transient Curse item is right there. Transient Curse. Go ahead and buy 2 of those. Okay, very important. Buy 2 of those. Because where we're going, okay, the next area that we're going to, you cannot kill the enemies in the next area unless you use a Transient Curse. So I want you guys to buy 2, and then we're gonna get 2 here in a second. Now, as soon as you buy the Homeward Bones and you buy the Transient Curse, you saw the little transition there. Go ahead and set up a safety save, lock in all that progress. And then sometimes, it depends, right? Sometimes when I do the safety save at the sewer merchant, it puts me off right there in front of the sewer merchant. And sometimes it puts me off out here. But regardless, right, wherever it puts you off at when you're done with the safety save, just head back down here to Firelink Shrine. And go ahead and rest, make sure you have all your magic. Notice that I've only got 12 Great Soul Arrows, but if I rest, I can pick up 20. Just make sure you rest. And now we're on the way to the area that I was telling you guys about, where you can't kill the enemies unless you have a Transient Curse. You have 2 in your inventory now. We're gonna pick up 2 more. There's a pot down here that you can break, and it gives you 2 Transient Curse. That'll give us 4. That should be plenty. You'll see even in this clip that I only use 2, and I really only use 2 because I'm going to show you guys I guess what could happen. Ideally you want to kill all the enemies before you climb a ladder that's coming up, but I think in this clip I show you that if you accidentally mess up and you climb the ladder too early, you're going to need a Transient Curse when you come back down the ladder to kill the remaining enemies. So you should only have to use 2. But just in case, I've got you guys 4 in your inventory. And we are going to be coming back down here later on in the run as well, so you'll have some for later. We're just going to run down here. See the pot right there? You can roll off and break it, or you can go up to it and press R2. Hit it with your staff, either way, but just make sure you pick up those 2 Transient Curse items as well. And then let's go ahead and equip them, okay? Just put them right, just put them to the right there of the Homeward Bones. Just press X, and now you'll have them in your bottom D-pad slot. And when you get down here to the end of this bridge, you can pop one of them. Okay, they are timed. The way that you know that they're still in effect is if they're dim. Notice right now that the Transient Curse in the bottom D-pad slot where those hands are, it's lit up. Okay, let's see. We'll use it right there. Now, well, I went ahead and switched to Estus Flask, but in your game, if you're still on the Transient Curse now in your bottom D-pad slot, you'll see that it's dim, okay? And as long as it's dim, you can kill enemies. As soon as you see it light up again, you can't kill enemies, okay? So just know that, and I think I show that later on in this clip, the difference between the 2. Okay, we're gonna head up here. There's gonna be 2 enemies as soon as you get to this next platform. One to your right. I normally kill it first. Yep. Just kill it when it's coming out of the ground. Your Great Soul Arrow should kill these enemies in 1 hit. Now sprint toward the archway. Clear both archways. There's the second one, and then come right back and stay on the bridge. Target and back up and just keep spamming your Great Soul Arrows until all these enemies die. There's a good, I don't know, 5 in here, so I don't know the exact count, but sometimes you have to run in there and do it twice. I think I go in there. Yeah, boom, do it twice. See how more spawned in? Because if you go into that room, obviously Dark Souls is trying to trap you, right? So if you go into that room too early, they're all going to pop out and you're going to be pincered in. You got nowhere to go, right? Just make sure you kill them all. and then boom, through the archway, take a left. You can fall off here, go down the circular staircase, make a right, boom, make a left. Be careful here, there's gonna be one that pops out of the ground, right? And then hit the fog gate to the right. In front of you is gonna be a shortcut, okay? So walk up to the ladder and kick it. And I'll show you how cool that is here in a bit. When you're done with that, make a right and go to the dead end. There's gonna be a soul pack we can pick up. That's gonna be souls we can pop for later. Okay. Make a right and just kind of, you know, you can sprint through here or kind of lightly run like I am, like jog through there. Main thing is have your shield up. They're trying to poke you from below the bridge with their, you know, their sword hands or whatever they got going on. And it can be pretty deadly and it can lock you up a bit when you're trying to cross that bridge. But if you got your shield up, they'll just kind of bounce off of it. You just take a little bit of damage. Just make sure you have it up. Make sure that you kill 2 enemies. You notice how I kept looking back behind me and I made sure that I killed 2 of those ghosts. Very important, because if you don't, when you're trying to kill these ghosts, they're gonna be sneaking up behind you. You're not even gonna know it. And you're gonna be wondering what's killing you, right? So just make sure you kill 2 ghosts on that bridge that's behind us right now. And then you can come down here and focus on these enemies. And I don't even know, guys, there's 10 plus enemies right here that you need to, there's a bunch that you need to kill. So you wanna be patient here. They're gonna be coming from below on your left. Notice that you can still hit them from down there. And you're just kind of inching forward and then running back to the stairs, listening in your headset. That also helps, okay? Because you can hear them when they're getting close, okay? Kill them, and then like I said, just kind of inching forward. Sometimes you want to run into this room and then run back out, okay? Take as much time as you need to. I think when I was doing the live commentary in this section, because this is another episode, guys, where the live commentary failed. I think I'm just going to do post commentary for the rest of this series, because I think episode 16 or 17, which I've already filmed, the live recording for that also failed. So I had 3 videos when I looked at all the footage. I think in the previous episode I told you guys I only knew about 2. There was actually 3, and this was one of them. So I'm probably just going to do post commentary from here on out. Get this thing up for you guys fast. See how they're coming. And right there I was able to get a 2-for-1. I was able to kill 2 of those enemies with 1. Okay, notice right there I'm showing you here. I remember talking about this in live commentary. But see how that Transient Curse icon in the bottom D-pad slot is dim? That means I can still kill enemies. Remember, it's on a timer, okay? So I kind of have that down there, because what'll happen a lot of times is you'll be in one of these rooms, there'll be a bunch of ghosts around you, and you'll be firing magic at them and they won't be dying, and you won't know why. And it's because your Transient Curse wore off and you didn't know it, because there's no way to really know it in the game, right? So, but if you have that Transient Curse, you'll be able to see it and know, okay, the Transient Curse icon is lit up, so now I can't do any damage. I need to use my Transient Curse again. Now this is me showing you on purpose that if you climb the ladder too early, you're going to be hit while you're climbing the ladder, okay? Because like I said, the ghosts just keep popping out, so you have to be careful. Ideally, what you want to do is inch up underneath that little fireplace or whatever where the ladder is, and then keep inching your way back until you kill them all. But let's just say you don't, right? By the time you come up here and talk to this NPC, you see how my Transient Curse just wore off? You're going to have to pop another one on the way down, and I'm going to show you guys that. Make sure you talk to this NPC until he gives you the key to the seal. You can't access the next boss room unless you have that. So just make sure that you have key to the seal. It's automatic. And then go into purchase item and buy Resist Curse for 5,000. Okay, now I'm going to show you that if you ever run out of Transient Curse and you need some and you're in this area, you can buy them from this guy. If not, again, you can buy them from the sewer merchant back at Firelink. Okay, your call. But if you're ever over on this side of things, you can just buy them from him. So again, notice my bottom D-pad slot, the Transient Curse is worn off, so I'm going to pop another one. Like I said, this is not necessary if you've already killed all the ghosts, okay, which I highly encourage you to do. But let's just say you mess up. What you want to do is press O to go down the ladder super quick and then roll out of there, because they're going to be above you. See that? They're hanging around that ladder trying to hit you and stuff, right? So if you press O really quick and get down the ladder fast enough, then you can kind of fake them out. Otherwise, if you kind of just slowly come down the ladder, they're going to be poking you with their blade hands or whatever, because you know, in this game, weapons can go through walls and columns and stuff. You'll be getting hit while you're trying to climb down the ladder, and it's the ghost swinging through that fireplace, right, entryway, taking off damage. So pick up that soul pack that we just picked up there, and then run down here, follow all the steps, and open up this gate, and then rotate this switch. This is going to let the water go down. Very important, because once the water is down, you have access to the boss room. And now that we have the Covenant of Artorias, we can actually fight the boss. Let's go ahead and use a Homeward Bone. It's going to take us back to Firelink. Okay. Now I'm going to show you here. This is also not necessary, but it will save you a little bit of time if you have problems with the next boss. So notice that right there, I went back to Firelink. Okay. Now, if we went straight to the boss room now and we died, we would come back to Firelink, and you would have to make this run that I'm making now over and over and over again until you were able to kill the boss, which, you know, it's not like terrible, but it is a pretty long run back. So I'm going to show you a way we can safety save here in a bit to where you don't have to make this entire run back. Okay. You don't have to do nothing with the elevator. It won't take you back to Firelink. It'll actually put you off down here when you get off the elevator. So it saves you a little bit of time, and I'll show you that here in a bit. It actually puts you off somewhere in here. Okay. But we're just going to make the run back. Now, you guys remember the shortcut that we opened up via the ladder. That's going to come in handy right now. It's going to save us a lot of time. Notice that all the water is down. Okay. It used to be much higher than this. Again, now we have access to the boss fight. Just keep running through. You don't have to pop any Transient Curse items now. Just run through and kind of hug the left-hand wall here. I think both of them get a lucky shot on me here, yeah. Most of the time they don't, and I probably should have been hugging the left wall even more. I think I show that in the next clip. Okay, we'll come through here, take a right. Just keep going and then walk off this edge. See that? Then walk off again. Just make sure you turn your camera angle down so you can see, and then boom. See, there's the shortcut ladder. See? That's the one that we kicked down earlier. Now we can get through here pretty quick, right? Boom, take a right, go across the bridge again. Keep your shield up. Take a left, and just keep sprinting through here, and you won't have any issues with the ghost because they're still going to be in this room. Okay. Keep sprinting, take a left, and then just run straight. Boom, you're gonna fall off, take a slight left, go over the little bridge, and there's the fog gate. Now notice that I'm setting up a safety save here, and I wanted to keep this in here so you could see that I wasn't like editing the footage. So I just time-lapsed it. And you'll see that I spawn in at the bottom of the elevator in New Londo Ruins. So it saves you a little bit of time when you run back. See that? So you don't have to start all the way back at Firelink if you die to this next boss, right? Saves you a little bit of time. And then we're just gonna make the run again. And I think this time I stay more to the left. I don't get hit by the ghost. So if I remember correctly, when I was doing my live commentary, I was probably just showing you the difference. That if you don't go all the way to the left, you get hit. And if you do go to the left, see that? I'm going all the way to the left, then you don't get hit. I think that's probably why I showcased that. But again, it's so different when you do post commentary, especially when you did the game live. And you have to come back and do post commentary. Because I think of myself when I'm filming this as like a, like a producer, if you will. I'm producing a show. I'm producing a series. I'm thinking about where I want the camera to be pointed at certain times and what I want to be talking about. All that stuff is done in my preparation for covering these games. And of course, when you have to go back and do post commentary, all that stuff ends up being a wash. You have to kind of just pick up the pieces to that puzzle and make the series something different. Okay, we'll hop down and go through the fog gate. Immediately turn to the right and sprint. These guys will follow you into this room, these ghosts that are behind us now, and they can hit you through the wall. So just sprint all the way down, and then I'll show you guys what to equip so that you can successfully get through this fight. So notice what I do here. I'm just going to take the Havel's ring off, and we're going to put on the Covenant of Artorias. We got that for defeating the the boss fight earlier, Sif, okay? Take the Transient Curse off, you don't need that anymore. And leave on all the armor that you currently have on, okay? And then what you want to do is make sure you're full health, make sure you're on your homing soul mass and your top D-pad slot, and then just slightly walk off the edge and fall all the way. It's gonna look like you're gonna die, but fall all the way down. You'll land, and then pop a soul mass and spin your camera around 360 level, kind of at eye level, until you see something smoky off in the distance. You see that? That's the enemy. It's gonna attack you on all four sides. You're basically fighting these enemies in a black room, okay? The trick to fighting these enemies is to always back up. Anytime you see that purple attack coming at me right now, wait till he swings and then walk into the attack with your shield up. Wait till the enemy swings, walk into the attack with your shield up, okay? Just block it. Now notice what I'm doing right here. I'm backing up, he's swinging at me, and I'm firing off a soul arrow or a soul mass. Real simple, okay? And I think your first couple attacks you want to be using soul spear, okay? So just notice, backing up, he swings, I attack. Back up, always got my shield up, notice that too, okay? And notice there that my soul mass randomly will kick in and I'll get some free hits. Again, I just want to get close to that. Wait till he swings, watch. He'll swing, walk into the attack, okay? Now the only reason why I pushed him right there is because I knew my soul mass would be enough to kill him, okay? So I went ahead and pushed him. I knew I would probably get hit, but it wouldn't matter, because I knew he would die and I would have time to heal afterwards. That's going to be something you'll have to, like a judgment call you'll have to make when you run the game yourself. Again, soul mass is out, full health. Notice that I always heal in between each king. Okay, notice the name of this fight is the 4 kings. So there's 4 enemies that you have to kill and they all share health. Again, wait for him to swing, walk into the attack. Now the trick to this fight is that you have to kill him quick. If you don't kill them fast enough, they'll end up being a ton of kings. Like, they just keep coming, guys. There'll be, 6 kings out at once, or 4, or whatever that number is, and that's when it gets a little bit crazy. But if you're just doing exactly what you see me do in this video, you'll kill them well before they spawn in multiple kings, okay? Not a problem. Again, just pop my soul mass, spin around. Every time you kill a king, heal up, okay? Again, backing up using my great soul arrows. He swings, I attack. And I think on this one, I want to say this clip I let the fight last a little bit longer because there's another attack that he does. There's actually 2 more attacks that he does that you guys haven't seen. One is a grab and one is this thing where he just blows up. I wanted you to see that before I ended this this tutorial to kind of see it. But you can block them. You can block everything. The only thing you really can't block is the grab, because obviously it's a grab. But if you keep your distance like we are now, he'll never grab you. So really the only 2 attacks I wanted you to see is the one that we're blocking with our shield that that's coming at you, that takes a long time to get to you, and then that Nova one. That's really the only 2 you need to worry about. But that's how easy that fight can be. Just keep backing up, they'll swing, and then you fire off a soul arrow. And there you go, guys. There is your trophy, defeat the 4 kings. You're also going to get 4 humanity for that and 60,000 souls. That's it for this episode, guys. Hopefully you have enjoyed. See you right back here in the next one. You guys be good. So I wanted to take a second and tell you guys about my dream. My dream is to wake up every single day and create guides just like the one you just watched here on YouTube full time. Now there's several ways that I can monetize my work in order to make that dream come true. Number 1, I could do Google ads. Number 2, I could do sponsorships. Number 3, I could do endorsements. The only problem with those 3 options is that I think they're going to degrade the quality of what I'm trying to produce here on Square One Games. Not only that, but I don't want to try to pitch my subscribers something that I don't necessarily believe in, and that's why I've decided to just go the Patreon route. If you want to see more guides like this on YouTube, you also want to have that person that you can go to where you're gonna get an answer to your comments, okay? I've responded to probably 90+% of every comment ever left on my channel, and I've been on YouTube for 6 years. You can go to any one of my videos, look in the comments, and I'm in there. Think of it like customer service, That's exactly what I like to do from my community. So if you guys want to help get more guides like this up on YouTube, I just need more time to do it. That's it. So hopefully you guys will support me in that if you like this kind of content. Thank you.